Well, we are coming up on that time of year. It's what's now the 22nd of December, a couple of days away from Christmas, and I want to talk to you a little bit about Christmas lighting and landscape lighting. If you have a look over here, right at my feet, over here on your, I guess it's your left, we've got a landscape light shining up underneath a pear tree. Now this is a pear tree that received some damage and it's recovering at the moment, so it's trying to develop back into that base shape, which we all love. And this is great during the spring and the summer because there's lots of leaves on the tree, and the landscape light will illuminate those and make them shine, and it'll look really, really pretty. But as you can tell, this time of year with these landscape lights, it's mostly bare branches and it's not incredibly attractive. Even this alder tree, which ordinarily with lots of leaves on, it's going to look spectacular. Very, very minimal with this light, with no leaves on the branches. We're going to fix all of that. Stay tuned. So here we are, Christmas Eve morning. You know how sometimes people like to take the little fake birds and put them into their Christmas trees. Well, we've got a little red bird right up there. We've got a little red bird in our tree. Only he's not fake. Whew, relaxing on the patio here. Alright, so before I get started on showing you how to take our lighting setup and turn it into a Christmas-oriented lighting setup, I'm going to show you the basic lighting setup. I've got some of the elements right here at my feet. Now this is good for any time of the year. Alright, we're going to start out with one of these. This is a timed lighting stake. It plugs into an external outlet. You can see from the cord, very heavy duty, made to handle outdoor applications. All right, so this plugs in to your external power supply. If you don't have one, you can always run it through a window, tap a hole in the wall. I wouldn't recommend doing that unless you absolutely have to. External outlet's best. Plug this into the external outlet. This one has 6, 3 on each side, individually shielded outlets, and you can set it for a wide variety of settings, either always on, always off, to come up and down with the sun, or you can set it for just 2, 4, 6, or 8 hour intervals. All right? Fun stuff. You're going to want to hook that up to an extension cord. This is actually an indoor rated extension cord. It's not the one that we use. I'm just showing you this for illustration purposes. The one that we're using is already hooked up, and I don't want to go mess with that at the moment. So you just plug it in. But now you've got problems. So you've got an outdoor fixture with exposed metal. Well, even if you push it in tight, it's going to be exposed. Now you can wrap this with shrink wrap, or you can also make a little contraption to go over it, like this thing right here. This is just enough. Again, we got a little slot in the side. Slot in the side here, tab there, with a pair of metal shears. Up a bit. Turn that off, and now we have 2 slots, one on either side, and we can use that to pass our cords through. Leaving our electrical connections on the inside where they can be protected from rain. And once you've got that set up, you just take a little duct tape, wrap it around The bottom will hold it together, and that way you keep the rain from getting to your electrical connections outside. All right, moving on. Put these to the side for a moment. The lights we're using are some of these. Now this is a new set because we're going to do some expansion. Each one of these boxes has 4 lights. We have our power supply that plugs in. This is an LED light system. You can connect 72 of these lights up to one circuit. It's a 5 ounce, 60 watt, 12 volt DC, so it doesn't take a whole lot of power at all. Each individual light, pull this thing out. Did you hear that? Did you hear that clinking noise? Yeah. The stakes are metal. This is not plastic. This is the cheap stuff. You got a saying, you buy cheap, you get cheap. So if you're going to go ahead and put in an external light system, something like this, and you don't want to start from scratch and run dedicated electrical wiring for it, this is your next best option. All right. Once again, solid metal housings. Each one of these has this individual power on and off switch on the back of it, so you can turn each one on and off individually. If, for example, you've got some lights that you would ordinarily use, but you want to leave off for a while, you can just turn off individual lights in the circuit, and it doesn't affect the rest of the circuit. Right, so I'm going to adjust this so it kind of points up, because I want these to be pointing up from under the trees. And then we put our spike on here, just like so. Alright, all I got to do is put the spike down in the ground wherever I want to have a light, and it's all set, ready to go. Now, the cords are kind of interesting. I'm going to bring this up there close to the camera so you can see what we're looking at. That connects to the light. So there's that switch. Let me get out of my light here. There's a switch so you can turn these on and off. Some spikes that sits in the ground, very nice and neat. Okay, there we go. Now, here we have our connector, and it even has a cap here. If this is going to be the end of the circuit, you're not going to add another light, you can tighten that cap off so the water doesn't get in there. I would still use some waterproof tape around this just to be on the safe side. Alright, and this lets you connect to your power supply. So effectively you run a chain of these, and they just run in, they're in parallel. So if one of them's off, the other ones continue to work. But you just run these in a chain, one after the other, so you light up a wide variety of spaces, and well, you'll be able to see here in a minute. So I'm going to attach these new lights that we just got to our existing system, and then we'll get to the turning it into Christmas.
We can look in it and
Ta-da! Look at that. Oh, let's see the glitter hands.
No.
Glitter hands. Ah. 1, 2, 3,
okay, it's getting
4,
worse.
5, 6, 7.
It doesn't come off, it just spreads.